We're heading across the Tibetan plateau to one of the most remote places on Earth, the restricted frontier between Nepal and China. So this is, I'm showing 4,500 meters here. This is the highest pass, is it?
Yeah.
How close to Tibet are we now?
Here to maybe 20 minutes.
It's taken us more than a week of hard driving to get here.
Chinese army police.
We're still on the Nepal side, but we run straight into a Chinese border patrol. Our Nepalese guide, Indra Bista, does some fast talking, and we move on. What are the Chinese border guards doing this side?
Oh, they are bring the Nepali police. There are a small meeting in the border.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just liaising.
Yeah.
At the top of the hill, we get our first view of Chinese Tibet. It's a sight that most Tibetan refugees can only dream of.
There's Tibetan nomad.
In those white tents there, they're nomads,
there's
right,
nomad people stand there.
Okay. We're going to try to share this view with one refugee who made a new life in Australia. His greatest wish is to see his homeland again. But getting him here won't be easy. Hello, China.
Oh, hello, sir. Hello, Tibet.
Wow.
It's good, huh?
It's amazing. Our journey begins days earlier in the Nepali frontier town of Jompson. It's the gateway into a land of kings and palaces called Upper Mustang. Many see it as the last true outpost of Tibetan culture. We've come here with Tenzin Choegyal, a Tibetan-Australian musician who lived in Mustang as a small boy.
Welcome back. It's been a while. Crazy flight. That was an amazing flight.
His parents carried him across the mountains from neighbouring Tibet to escape the Chinese occupation.
I'm trying to reconnect with the land that I haven't seen for the last 40 years. At the same time, looking forward to touching my own land because it borders Tibet.
Tibetan refugees have a strong regard for the old kingdom of Mustang. It kept Tibetan traditions alive as China tried to destroy them. Tenzin plays the traditional three-string Tibetan lute, infusing it with Western melodies.
So it's like raising awareness of Tibet at the same time enjoying the music.
Until now, his career highlight was performing for the exiled Tibetan spiritual leader, the Dalai Lama. But you've played in Carnegie Hall, isn't that better than playing for the Dalai Lama?
No, I don't think so. I didn't know what Carnegie Hall was until I got there.
Now he's travelling to Upper Mustang's capital, Lo Manthang, to play for its king. After that, he'll try to reach the Tibetan border. It will take him 6 days to get to Lo Manthang, riding up with an Australian trekking group. Until recently, the only way to travel here was on horseback. But we'll be taking a new route, one that has Tibetans like Tenzin worried. For the first time ever, a road is being built right across Mustang.
That will totally change the whole region. How well the living traditions will be kept alive. So that's the fear of the road from the China side.
It follows an old trade route from Jompson to Lo Manthang, 3,800 metres above sea level. From there, it's just 20 kilometres to the border crossing into China. The road will increase prosperity, but some fear it could also bring Chinese influence by stealth. We're planning to drive the entire way to see for ourselves. It's only 71 kilometres to Lo Manthang, so we're expecting a quick journey. But we soon find this is not so much a fast track as a dirt track. Most of the time you're travelling slower than the pony trains. Barely an hour after we leave, we start having to change vehicles. But it's not quite finished. It takes us most of the day to reach the first town, Kagbeni. This used to be as far as tourists were allowed to go. Because of its proximity to Tibet, Nepal regarded Upper Mustang as too strategically sensitive for outsiders. Since 1992, it's given limited entry permits for guided trips.
Okay, so we're now going into Upper Mustang?
Upper Mustang, yeah.
The restricted area?
Yeah, restricted,
okay,
yeah.
cool. Let's go.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks.
For centuries, traders on horseback used this valley to bring salt from Tibet through Mustang to Nepal and India. That all ended in the 1950s when China sealed the Tibetan border. Mustang's economy was choked, but its Tibetan Buddhist culture was preserved. Now there are hopes this could be a major trade route again. But from our experience, that doesn't look likely anytime soon.
Well, I think it's safe to say that Mustang's not going to be swamped with traffic. Even when they join up the road, it's going to be closed for 5 months of the year by snow or whenever it rains. Not quite sure how we're going to get past this bit today. But when you're tripping around these passes at nearly 4,000 metres, it's actually a bit hairy. If you ever do come to visit, I'd recommend you walk.
Just don't bring what we have. 200 kilograms of food, drink and camera gear.
Okay, so now we walk. How far?
Oh, 1 hour?
1 hour. Okay.
1 hour, very heavy, you know.
Okay.
This is the first of many walks between the road sections. The plan is to eventually build enough bridges and causeways for an uninterrupted drive. Some bitumen might be helpful too. It's not long before the horses catch up with us. Tenzin Choegyal clearly prefers it to bouncing around in a car.
Namaste! How's it going? What are your feelings going through the country like this?
It's amazing and feeling at home.
At home?
Yeah.
Are you remembering things?
Not anything, but it just feels really feels like I'm home. Yeah.
Tenzin was too young to remember Mustang. This photo of him with his mother and little brother is the only record he has of his childhood. Soon after, his father died and Tenzin was sent to school in India. He eventually met his Australian wife Bronwyn and they moved to Brisbane to start their own family.
I think Tibetans around the world have been quite strong in adapting to where they are replaced. I mean, from a displaced place, you have another place to start over. And I think Tibetans have been really good at adapting.
China called its invasion the peaceful liberation of Tibet. The communists destroyed monasteries and tried to ban the Tibetan language. As Chinese settlers flooded the region, its unique culture was overwhelmed.
The five-starred red flag of our motherland flutters high over Lhasa.
Thousands of Tibetan families escaped over the mountains to freedom. The land Tenzin's parents fled to, Upper Mustang, remained a time capsule of Tibetan tradition.
It's kind of like a little Tibet in itself, and like it's cocooned by all this.
But many of the locals are impatient for modernity. We come across a group of pilgrims taking advantage of the new road. They've hired a tractor to visit the region's many monasteries. It seems drink driving rules are yet to be enforced. Many are riding cheap Chinese motorbikes kitted out like horses. It is a shocking road by Western standards, but it's liberated them from the tyranny of distance. Before, it would take 5 days to get to the nearest hospital or school. Now it can take less than 1 day. They can even travel for pleasure.
What is your name?
My name is Tenzin Choegyal.
I love your hat. I want your hat. I'll swap you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you take this, I take the hat. Well, just this bit.
The same.
They invite us back to their village for a special meal, a freshly slaughtered yak.
You try? I've never tried yak. I've eaten lots of things, but never yak. Dad looks good. When was the yak butchered?
Today morning, fresh meat.
Fresh meat?
Yeah.
Very good.
It's a rare treat. Yaks are the most valuable property in the village and can feed a family for 10 days. Though I suspect this yak might have died of old age.
It's nice. It's like cow and chicken.
Very good, yeah.
The hospitality masks a deep poverty. Cut off from outside trade, families like this never had a chance to get ahead. Not a single one of them went to high school. The next day we reached the town of Sarang, one of the royal cities of Upper Mustang. Mustang was formerly the Kingdom of Lo, founded by a Tibetan warlord in 1380. Many here still see themselves as Lobars, meaning subjects of the Lo king. The authenticity appeals to foreigners looking for undiscovered places. But the Lobars pay a price for their isolation. Most people have to leave during winter and find work in Kathmandu or India. Only the old people stay to look after the animals. Our guide Indra believes there can be a balance between tradition and modernity.
आधुनिक जमानामा चाहिँ अपर्च्युनिटी र यो आधुनिक विकास चाहिँ हुनुपर्छ मान्छे सबैले फ्यासिलिटी पाउनुपर्छ गाडी चढ्ने फ्यासिलिटी बत्ती बाल्ने फ्यासिलिटी इन्टरनेट कम्प्युटर तर त्यसलाई चाहिँ पनि विकास गर्ने र यहाँको कल्चरलाई पनि प्रिजर्भेसन गर्दै गएपछि
After another 2 days of riding, Tenzin Choegyal's group has almost reached its destination. They stop on a pass just short of the old royal capital, Lo Manthang. The altitude is taking a toll on the trekkers. The air is clear but thin. Tenzin leads the group in a Buddhist devotion called a puja. Tibet lies just over the ridge. It's a bittersweet moment.
My real destination is beyond Lo Manthang, where Tibet is.
You want to see Tibet?
Yeah. My parents came through here. I was probably a toddler here. This space around here, it feels like I'm back in Tibet. But yeah, the real destination is beyond Lo Manthang.
Beyond where you can go.
Yeah.
The irony is that when they enter Lo Manthang, it's more like the Tibet Tenzin was born in than Tibet is today. A wall still surrounds the mud brick houses and alleyways. The inhabitants all speak Tibetan and practice their religion freely. They live as people might have in the Middle Ages. Without internet or television, they have to entertain themselves.
So I just hold it like this?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And the palace still has a king.
What's he like? How old is the palace?
700 years.
700 years old. Okay, still in good nick.
At 83, the king no longer entertains visitors. But we've been invited to meet his heir, the Crown Prince.
Okay, stop it. I'm starting to feel the altitude.
In 2008, Nepal's Maoist government stripped Mustang's royal family of its powers. But the Maoists never asked the Lobars, who still revere their royalty.
Hello, sir.
Nice to see you.
How do you do?
Oh, fine, thank you.
I hope I'm presenting this correctly.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, very
thank you
nice
so
to
much.
see you.
Thank you very much for seeing us. I appreciate your time. Okay. Shall I call you just...
Jigme.
Jigme. You're a very informal Crown Prince.
The Crown Prince is philosophical about the end of more than 6 centuries of absolute rule.
There's no formal power now, yes.
But when we talk to people, they still think of you very much as
Yes, still our local people, they respect my father as a cultural king. We still have very good relationship with each other.
He's optimistic about Mustang's future, especially now it's getting a road.
It will bring a big change. Actually, this road we built in the demand of local people. And before having road, we have a lot of problem. For example, we get our supplies in very expensive, We have to bring it man's back, mule's back. That costs a lot of money. Now with the road, we get all our supplies in cheaper price.
Ormadando, Australia shuke.
It's the night of Tenzin's Royal Command performance. Everyone's here, including the Prince and Princess, along with the royal lapdog. As the local school children warm up the crowd, Tenzin waits anxiously for his call. He's worried how his fusion music will go down with such a traditional crowd.
I'm very, very nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm particularly nervous because of playing to a crowd that I'm not used to, even though I come from here. But I don't know. It's kind of unknown zone. Yeah.
How does it compare to playing Carnegie Hall? Which makes you more nervous?
This one, I guess.
Tenzin Choegyal, big hand.
He needn't have worried. From the moment he starts playing, with Indra helping out on drums, the low bars are wrapped. Even the king makes an appearance, peering down from a palace window. The next morning, Tenzin is on a high. After the triumph of his performance, he's finally setting out with us to try to reach the border. He's due back in Lo Manthang in a few hours to play another concert in the town's main monastery. But he's happy to risk that for a glimpse of his homeland.
As a child, I always wanted to see Tibet growing up. And also, my parents, as they came out, they always wanted to go back to Tibet. So I'm hoping that through my eyes, in my heart, I'll take them back home.
But today we've got a much bigger problem than Chinese patrols. As we enter the last river crossing before the border, the jeep scrapes to a grinding halt.
Oh dear, we could be in trouble.
We climb out in the freezing water to push the vehicle back. Nothing we do has any effect. Not even jacking the wheels can free them from the rock's grip.
I think these guys can get it out.
I hope so. I think they will get us out.
If it's meant to be, it'll happen.
Yes.
So do we risk coming over again?
I don't know. Should we put some rocks?
Yeah, well, we can try. It's risky though, we might not get back. What's more important, the Tibetan border or your concert? Tibetan border, we'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah! Okay, Tibet, here we come.
From here on, it's a straight drive to the frontier. Today, there are no guards and no checkpoints. We pass the ceremonial gate just 2 kilometres from the border. And for the first time, Tenzin sees the land where he was born.
Tibet over there.
That's Tibet.
Thank you.
What do you feel down?
I can't describe it.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. My parents must have come through.
Yeah.
And
So long ago.
so many of Tibetans wants to see this land. And my mom passed away wanting to see, go back to her land. And I can't even go there, just seeing from distance.
We look down on the fortifications China has built. There's an army base, a wire fence, and endless surveillance cameras. Nobody else is crossing here now.
I'm keeping my, in my heart, I'm keeping my parents. Hopefully they are running around there, because I believe in reincarnation, and hopefully they are born within Tibet. Thank you. So many Tibetans there.
More than 60 years have passed since China occupied Tibet. Generations continue to mourn the land they lost.